Salesforce CRM Demo full in-depth tutorial. In this video, we are going to be talking about Salesforce and how all of its features on its CRM platform will help you close better deals, make better leads, and just run your business in a very work-committed environment, okay? So to start things off, what you're going to do is you're going to come over to salesforce.com. Now, over here, if you want to try their CRM totally for free, you can simply go ahead and click on this. And the best part about Salesforce is that it is free. Okay, there's no paid extras or paid add-ons. It's all free and it works incredibly. It's the number one CRM platform, and the features it gives you are amazing, where your customers are obsessed with the work ethic. It's adaptable, flexible, scalable, and secure, and a whole lot more. So basically, to start things off, we're also going to look at these plans. Okay, obviously it has the free plan, but you have the $25 plan, which is the starter, professional, which is $80, enterprise, which is $165, and then we have unlimited, which is $330. Okay, so you can go ahead and try any one of those if you desire. I'm going to stay with the free one, and we're going to get straight in. There's no credit card required. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to click on try for free. Now, once you click on try for free, it takes you into the loading section where it brings you over here. So here you're going to have to add your first name, last name. Then it's going to ask you your job title. So let's say I'm going to go with sales manager. All right. Then we have employees. I'm going to go with 31 to 200. Then we have these items over here, the phone number, country, region. We have languages, agree to their services, and finally, add your email. Okay. Now, once we've added our email, we're going to click on start free trial. And once we click on start free trial, it takes us straight in to the main workings of Salesforce. Now, again, Salesforce gives you main preloaded data, and you can upload your own as well with pre-configured processes and a whole lot more. Now, as you can see, it says that we have sent an email onto your inbox. It can take a few minutes. So what you're going to do is you're simply going to wait a few seconds for it to bring you over. And once everything is done, it's going to bring you here. So it says, what brings you to Salesforce? Your answer won't limit what you can do. So you can evaluate the product, test for development, training and learning, etc. I'm going to go with just exploring for now. Now it says, what's your highest priority today? Now you can nurture leads, manage your pipelines, forecast your revenue, streamline your workflow, or develop your sales plans. I'm going to go with nurturing my leads. What is your experience with sales platforms? Okay, now if you're new to all, you can come to this, or if you've used few, you can use these. I'm going to go with new to all CRM software, or we could go with new to Salesforce. So once we've done this, we're going to click on submit, because these questionnaires that we just went through are, basic onboarding points that are going to help you to go through your Salesforce. Okay, it basically allows Salesforce to realize if you need help with this platform, where it gives you tips and tricks basically. Now over here it says, welcome to Salesforce. We have a 30-day trial, and we can check all these things out in these 30 days. So 30 days is a huge time to realize if the platform that you're using is good enough or not, which is pretty incredible in my opinion. Now over here, you're in your main dashboard, which is your home dashboard. So you have the seller home, where you can see the different analytics and graphs. Okay. So first of all, we have this section where you can close deals, opportunities owned by you or closing different quarters, etc. And you can plan your accounts, growing relationships, building pipelines, and you can see all the upcoming activity, past activity, or no activity. So this is just one big graph to analyze all your work, and, basically gives you basic insight in your work space. Okay. Now moving on, we also have some other components over here. Like here on the left-hand side, you have this where you can launch different apps. So currently we are in the CRM app, but you have sales, inside sales, sales leader, success manager, sales op. So different types of operations to go through. Then on here on the up hand side, first of all, we have profile, where you can change your display density and all. So you can go from compact to comfy. So right now I'm in compact, but you can switch to comfy as well. I'd rather suggest compact. Then you can also go over to your accounts settings. And in your account settings, you can go into the different informational bits that it provides you. So these are all things that we're going to get into later on in the video. Right now, let's get straight into the main features that make Salesforce a good CRM. So to start things off, we're going to move over to leads. Now, leads is a section where you're actually going to make proper clients, which are basically your leads, all right? Now, if you already have leads, you can import them into this section, or what you can do is you can one by one add a new lead. So we already have 6 leads over here. Now, these are example leads that Salesforce added by themselves as a template, okay, just to start you off. But if I want to go ahead and make leads for myself, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to new. And once we click on new, we're going to wait for this bit to open up. Now, once this bit opens up, we can see over here we have lead information for different things. So first of all, we have lead status, okay? This could be a new lead, working lead, nurturing lead, qualified lead. So let's say I'm adding a lead which is already in my workspace. So I'm going to go with working. Then we have name. I'm going to go with Mr. Okay, we're going to add the name. Then you could add the title, like let's say there are the VP. Okay, I'm going to add VP. Then you have the email, you have phone number, then you can add the mobile number as well. Rating, I'm going to go with hot. Okay, so once you've changed the rating, you can come down, check the address. Now we have lead owner, which is obviously you, the person who created the Salesforce account. Okay, you can add the website that they're related to, which could be their blog or any portfolio that they have. Add their company in. So I've added this company. Then we have the industry. What industry is this company related to? I'm going to go with retail. Number of employees, let's say 500. And then the lead source could be advertisement, customer event, etc. I'm going to go with advertisement. And once we've done that, we're going to click on save. And as you click on save, look at this. Our lead has been created. Now, once this lead is created, what you can do is you can mess around with the different aspects of this lead. So obviously you can go back and edit this lead, you can delete this lead, you can clone this lead, and you can also convert this lead from a lead to a contact, etc., whatever you want. Okay, now to start things off, we have different classes over here. So we have unqualified, okay, which is obviously a status. I switched to working because this person is already working for me. But if we don't want this lead, we're going to keep them in unqualified. And as soon as they're qualified, we can switch to new, which basically means that they're a new lead for my company that I've made a CRM for. Then moving on, as the work goes on, you can switch to working, mark the status as complete. Okay, then it comes to nurturing. You can mark this as complete. And once you mark this as complete, you're actually going to choose the different conversions. So you can convert this lead to a proper converted section, okay? And as we scroll down, you can see all their details. You can also go ahead and give them different types of work. So you can log a call. You can go ahead, give them a new task and new event. So let's say when it comes to giving a new task, here's the task section open. So let's say in the subject, I'm going to write send letter. And the task subtype can be an email, okay? Due date, let's go with the 27th of this month. Assigned to, you're going to assign it to the person that you're making a lead for. And once you have done all of this, you're going to click on save. And once you click on save, that basically creates a task. Now, this task can be seen over here in upcoming and overdue. And whatever task is created, what they can do is they can simply click on this task. This opens up the different tasks over here, and what they're going to do is obviously go ahead and complete the task. And once they're completed with the task, they can click on mark complete, and that is basically it. That is how you can create and complete those tasks. Now, moving back to leads, I've talked about how you're going to create a new lead, but you can also import leads for yourself. Okay, importing leads is also a pretty easy aspect. What you can do is you can go to new, and once you go to new, you can keep importing them by clicking on save and new. And once you click on save and new, it's going to basically save the lead that you're creating, then open up a new page, and you can keep on adding more and more and keep importing them. Okay, so pretty basic and pretty simple stuff to get your head around. All right, now in the leads section, you can also add different leads and give them different basic campaign additions. You can change them as owner, change their statuses, etc. So let's say I'm going to go ahead and select this lead, and I want to add this lead to a campaign. I'm going to click on add to campaign, and then you're going to search a campaign that you're going to add them to. Now, currently I don't have a campaign yet. So when I create a campaign, that is when we are going to add these leads into the campaign. Okay. And moving on, you can also change the status for leads. So let's say I'm going to change the status. I can change it from, new to qualified. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and click on save, and look at this. The lead status is now qualified. You can also change the owner of this lead. Okay. So change the owner to any owner you want. So let's say I'm going to change the owner to this person, and there we go. So just like this, you can go ahead and assign different labels and work with different features that Salesforce brings you. Okay. Now, moving on, we're going to go ahead over to the account section. Now, the account section is also a pretty helpful and pretty hefty section, because this section gives you a lot of different things to actually work with. So basically over here, what you're going to do is you're going to add or import new accounts. Okay, so these are accounts that will basically be working in your workspace. Okay, leads are totally different. Leads are people you work with. They're your clients, they're companies, they're owners of different enterprises that you work with. Those are leads. Accounts are people that work in your workspace, in your CRM. And then contacts are people that you send out emails to, you send out different newsletters to, etc. They're the people who you market things to. Now in accounts, what I'm going to be doing is, again, we're going to click on new. And to add an account is almost the same as adding a lead. Okay. Again, what you're going to do, I'm going to go into account name. Okay. You can choose parent accounts. You can choose different owners. And once you're done with this, click on save. And this basically adds the account in your workspace. Now, this account can go ahead and edit different things according to the capabilities that you provided. So you can actually give them ownership of the CRM. You can give them the admin capabilities where they can actually set around with things. And the same as leads, you can give this person tasks to do, give them new events to attend, etc. Then moving on, you can also see the details of their work. So you can see how much they've marketed, how much services that they've given, etc. So again, the account section is also pretty helpful. It's pretty cool, and it gives you a very easy and pretty seamless workflow environment. Now, when it comes to import, you can actually import a whole Excel or XLSX file into your Salesforce. Now, what that will do is it will actually import a whole list of accounts into your data space. Okay, so let me show you how you are going to do that for yourself. So to do that, what we're going to do is over here in the import section, what you're going to want to do is you're going to go to standard objects. You're going to click on account and contacts. Okay. You're going to go ahead and add new records for yourself if you want to. So these are new records. Now it says drag a CSV here to upload. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead, click on choose file, and you're going to add your CSV. So as we can see, we have a CSV file over here. Now, once I've added this CSV file, I'm going to click on next, and look at this. We have added a whole example of people over here. And once this is done, you're going to click on next again. And what that does is it starts the import. So as you can see, these are the mapped and unmapped fields. You can also go ahead and make sure the unmapped fields are properly categorized and verified. But once you have done all of this, you're going to see that there are going to be numerous number of accounts and contacts over here. So look at this. So these are people that I just added. Okay, these are people that I just, personally added into my accounts and contacts section. Again, from your contacts, you can obviously switch them to your accounts if you desire. It's pretty simple and it's pretty easy. And again, working with accounts is a very fun thing that you can have for yourself. Okay, simply go into the accounts section, and in the accounts section, you can go ahead, give them different tasks and different events. You can also upload different files for them to, work on. Maybe you want them to create some type of design just like this file. Maybe you want them to, make a proper outlook for some type of project using the style of the file you upload, etc. So it's generally a very easy thing to get your head around. It's not something that takes you a lot of time or is too difficult, etc. Okay. Now, once we've talked about accounts, let's move over to contacts. All right. Now in contacts, what we have is, as I stated before, people who you actually add to a campaign for yourself. Okay, these are people you do campaigning with. These are people you actually go ahead and use for your marketing. Okay, so sending them email newsletters, sending them different types of you could say articles, blogs. You could sell them different types of pitches about your business project or whatever you're working on in your CRM. Okay, so let's say I have these contacts that I just added. I'm going to choose one contact, and obviously we can add this contact to a campaign, which again, I'm going to create later on. Right now, I'm going to go into this contact right now. And in this contact, we can see we have all the address details and all. Now, what you can do with this lead is you can give them and you can actually check different opportunities that you can get through this lead. So over here, you can see they have a company called Acme. The stage is in negotiation. The amount that we are on profit is, around in my currency, it's 17,000. In US dollars, I'd say it's around $60. Okay. So, around this much profit we're going to be making, etc. So just like this, you can check the opportunities with this clientele or with this contact. Then we have campaign history. Now, this is the history that you've had with this account or this contact in a campaign. So you can see the different campaigns that you've used this person in and what the status is. So as we can see, most of them are sent, which means most of them actually went through and were used. Okay. So that's a very good thing for our CRM. Okay. Now moving on, what we can also do is we can give them different names and different types of titles that you can just edit from these sections over here. So let's say if I want to edit anything, just click on the little pencil icon and it is going to be edited. And once you've edited everything, click on save and there we are. So pretty straightforward, pretty simple and pretty easy. So you can use these all alternatively. Basically, I'm talking about leads, accounts, and contacts. You can use all of these alternatively with each other when it comes to different types of, marketing methods like email newsletters. You have campaign sendings, you can send pitches, etc. So these are different things that you can go around with. You can, mess around with these things as you want, etc. Now, once we have gone through contacts, let's go into opportunities. So what are opportunities? Opportunities, as we discussed recently in the contact section, is the opportunity to close a deal with different contacts. Okay, these are opportunities that you have, and these are very important. Like, this is a section in your CRM that you're going to be coming to frequently because this is a section that can mainly make you money. Okay, opportunities are very important because they actually let you know or they give you an idea on how your workspace can actually scour in the top ranks through a client. Okay. So whichever client brings you the best opportunity, obviously they're a keeper. And the better the opportunity, the better the client. So the better the client, the better the services you're going to want to give to that client, which is why opportunity is a place where you're going to want to really come to. So let's say I have these custom opportunities over here. Now, a few of them are in negotiation, few of them are closed, and we have won them, okay? So let's say I'm going to go to the negotiation opportunity. Now, over here, we can see the opportunity is with, a custom template, salesforce.com. The contact is Mark Benioff. This is the contact that brought us this opportunity. The role is decision maker, and this person is an executive officer, okay? Now, over here, we can see the amount this opportunity brings us, the closing date for this opportunity, and we can actually see the details to determine the customer's project implementation plan, acquire agreements as necessary, adhere to own internal discount processes, and obtain a signed contract. You can also see the probability of how much it's going to succeed, etc. So just like this, you can go ahead and work out the different details of your business and work out the different, actual capabilities that this opportunity is going to bring you when it comes to actually using it to its full extent. All right. Now, moving on, we can also go over ahead to the opportunities that are closed. So let's say I'm going to go over to closed and I'm going to click on select close stage. Now, obviously, it's a close won or close loss. So the deal can close with a win or the deal can close with a loss. So you can go ahead and set this out with however the deal goes. And whatever is won is then obviously filtered and assigned to the close one section. So as you can see, we have this over here. Again, pretty straightforward and pretty simple stuff. You can also add new opportunities for yourself. So let's say I'm going to click on new. So first of all, you're going to search the account that is bringing you this opportunity. So let's say this account is bringing me the opportunity. The probability for this opportunity, I'm going to go with 67%. Forecast category. Let's go with pipeline. Okay. Then once you've done that, you have opportunity name. I'm going to give it some random name. Then you have the close date. Let's say I'm going to go with 4th of July. Stage. Let's go with proposal. Okay. Then you have different types where it could be an existing business or new business. I'm going to go with existing. Lead source, again, advertisement. And you can search the campaign for it as well. And once you've done all of this, click on save, and that creates your opportunity. Okay. Now, these are guidance for success. You can actually edit this guidance. Okay. You can go ahead and add a new guidance. So let's say I'm going to go ahead and add an amount over here. We have chosen the close date, and we're going to click on save. So we have a totally new amount now with totally different things. So generally, this will also tell you, like, as you can see, I wrote 67% probability, but obviously I have changed the amount and the probability gets better with the best case forecast. Okay. So these are things that you're going to want to keep an eye on when you're working with this section. All right. So let's move on ahead to calendar. Now in the calendar section, this is not the most frequently used section, but it is a very helpful section. Now in the calendar, what you can see is generally the dates for new events, the dates for new leads, the dates for your campaigns, the date for everything that you set in your CRM, all can be seen over here. Okay. So let's say I'm going to scroll up or down, and you can see we have something red over here. Now, this is obviously going to be some type of deadline for some type of thing that is going on. Okay. So again, this is a really fun thing to have for yourself. So let's say I want to add something at 20th. Okay. Which is Thursday. I'm going to click on that. And as we can see, we have this new event opened up. And here we can easily go ahead and add an event for ourselves. So let's say for its subject, I'm going to go with email. And location, you can add anything. It doesn't really matter. You're going to choose the start and end date. Then it's an all-day event. So we're going to go with that. Type, let's go with email. Okay, you can write a description in for this event if you want. Then you can search the name and contacts you want to do this with. Search the accounts that are going to be involved in this. And once you've done that, you can set a reminder for yourself as well. And once that is done, you're simply going to click on save. And as you can see, we now have an event at the 20th, which is Thursday. Okay. So just like this, add new events for yourself, and all the events that you have, you can actually go ahead and edit each event as well. So let's say we have this event, you can go ahead and edit this. So pretty fun and pretty generally amazing stuff to work around in your workspace with. Okay. So once we've discussed all of this, we're also going to go over ahead to the forecast section. Now, the forecast section is, generally a place which will allow you to see the different things regarding your CRM's work ethic and your company ethic. So it's mainly related to money as well. So let's say some type of month has a certain quota. You can see the closed cost, which is this much. You can see the committed forecast, which is, something that we thought of. What's the forecast that could potentially be? So we thought this price. The best case was, again, this price. The opening, quantity of money was this much, and we closed with this, which basically means we did make a profit, but we didn't go over ahead to the best case. All right. So you can see the different forecasts for these different types of occurrence. Okay. And let's say I have this month over here. I'm going to go with this forecast. Now in this forecast, you can actually see how the deal is going. Okay. You can see what the forecast category is. It is closed, and we closed on this amount, which basically means we closed on a decent amount if it says it's a closed one. If it's closing on a bad amount, which is lower than your opening pipeline, then obviously that's a closed loss. That's a loss in the closing of your case. But with a closed one, meaning you went over the opening pipeline, which basically means a profit. Okay. So again, this forecast isn't the most, helpful use place in the analysis section of Salesforce, but it is something that a lot of people use when it comes to checking their quotas and if they've made profits in their industry. Okay. Now, once we've gone through that, now we have the dashboard section. So the dashboard section is also a pretty fun section to be around in. Now, the reason the dashboard section is fun is because you can actually create new dashboards for yourself to assign different views to yourself, okay? Now, what do I exactly mean by that? Let me tell you. So, by creating different views for yourself, what you're basically doing is you're going ahead and giving yourself a, clear-cut idea on how the proper, you could say analytical and viewing section of Salesforce works. So let's say I'm going to go with new dashboard. And once we come over to new dashboard, I'm simply going to wait for it to load up. And here we have new dashboard name. Okay. So let's say I'm going to call this a test dashboard. You have description. You can add anything. You have private dashboard. I'm going to select a random folder for myself. Now, once you've selected a folder, click on create, and this will create a private dashboard for you. Now, in the private dashboard section, we can actually add widgets. So let's say I'm going to click on plus widget. So first of all, let's go ahead and add a chart or table. So let's go with private reports. So we have this over here. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose a report. I'm going to go with sample report of accounts, and we're going to click on select. You're going to choose it, how to display it. So you can display it as a horizontal chart. You can display it as a vertical bar chart. You can display it as other charts as well, like a cone chart. We have the speedometer chart. We have the number chart. We have our basic pie chart. And we have the main table that is just words. Okay, so you can choose to add it however you want. I'm going to go with this and click on add. And look at that. We just added our first widget in our dashboard. Now you can actually go ahead and add different forms of text as well. So let's say I'm going to add CRM space full. Okay, I'm going to write that in. I'm going to click on add, and look at that. It just adds a little text box over here saying CRM space full. Okay, so just like this, you can manage different things in your dashboard pretty easily and pretty simply. Then you can go ahead and add images for yourselves as well. So let's say I'm going to go to browse files, and it opens up these images. Okay, so different images can be added. So let's say I want to add an image of a basic pipeline, or you could say pipeline chart that I created. So I'm going to click on add, and look at this. We have a whole pipeline chart. You can increase its size just so that it can be viewed easily. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this down, and look at that. It expands and it opens up properly. So bring it as low as you can. The limit is not undefined or anything. So as low as you take it, it can pretty much go to whatever field you want it to go. And you can also expand its size like this. And look at this. Now we have a proper pipeline chart to let people know how the work in the workspace goes. So let's say I want to start, then we have coding, then you split to JavaScript or C++. If it's JavaScript, you're going to replenish the program, or if you have C++, you're going to work with the programming section. Then we have the object classes, which is basically a UML diagram. So object to class name, then we have class names, then we have modules, etc. So just like this, you can create your very own diagrams and add it in your dashboard just to give your users a main idea. Now, let's say once our dashboard is done, you're going to click on save. And what this does is it's going to save your dashboard. So now if we go in dashboards again, we have the test dashboard over here. And in the test dashboard, if you open it up, it's going to open up just like that. Pretty simple, right? So this is generally a really good thing to have in your workspace. And you can also download different dashboards, delete a dashboard, etc. All things that are pretty simple to get your head around. Now, moving on, we have reports. Now, reports are something that you can, pretty much use in any section of your CRM. Basically, you're going to get reports of your whole business or your whole project that's going on in your CRM. So you can select different report types. select different tasks and events. So let's say I want to go with the reports of tasks and events, right? Now, as we can see, we have this whole report over here. It took like what, a millisecond, and we have the company accounts, opportunities, contacts, leads, subjects, etc. It keeps going on. So these are the report analytics that you can get for your workspace. Pretty simple and pretty fun to have all of this for yourself. So just like this, generate different reports. Again, I'm going to go ahead to new report. Let's say I want to create a report for any other aspect. So I'm going to go with leads. Okay. I'm going to start a report with my leads. And once we have these reports over here, let's run a whole report to check things out. And you can actually go ahead and edit the fields, edit the lists, etc. Now, moving over from there, we have quotes. Okay. So these are quotas that you're going to get. Any quota that you have in your forecasts or opportunities are going to appear over here. So those are quotes that you're going to recently view or recently get. All of those will come over here. And, if I switch to all quotes, nothing's there because we do not have any current quotes, but any quotes you have, you can check them out from here and you can actually manage them to see if the quotes have made it to the accounts or not. Okay. So pretty simple and pretty easy stuff to get your head around. Now, once we've gone through all of that, let's go ahead to campaigns. Okay. Let's go ahead to actually creating campaigns for ourselves. So to create a campaign, you're going to come here to new campaign. Okay. And once you click on new campaign, we're going to keep a campaign name. Let's say I'm going to call it test. Obviously, we're going to keep it on an active campaign. Let's say I'm going to go with planned. Parent campaign, you can choose any. I don't have any, so I'm going to go with this one. Choose a start date, choose an end date. Okay. Event, let's go with email. It's an email campaign. All right. Now, once we've done that, we're going to click on save. And now that we've clicked on save, we have this whole campaign over here. So once we do this, we're going to click on submit. And that is basically how you're going to add people to your campaigns. And here are your campaigns right in front of you. Pretty simple and pretty, straightforward. So this is a whole campaign that's going on. You can see the campaign members right now. We have one member in our campaign and we can see what the campaign is actually for. So it's an email type campaign where the status is planned, start and end date, etc. It keeps going on. So pretty standard and pretty easy stuff to get your head around. And generally a really simple thing to have by your side when it comes to a CRM platform. Okay. Now, moving on, if we come over to home right now, you can see we have this dashboard over here, right? So in this dashboard, you can see we now have more leads. We can see the recent records that were used, today's tasks. Okay, we have today's events. You can also set goals for yourself in your CRM, which is also generally a good thing to have. So number of meetings, let's go 7. Number of calls, let's go 800. Number of emails, let's go 1,000. And then time frame, let's go monthly, and we're going to click on save. And now we can see that we actually have goals now. So again, we can set different things for ourselves. We can check the close deals out. You can see the planning in your accounts, etc. So it keeps going on and on when it comes to the ease of use of a platform like this. All right. So generally, this is how you're going to use your Salesforce, account. You don't have a lot of, you could say, technically difficult things. It's generally pretty straightforward. And it gives you a pretty good and easy etiquette to start off with. Now, one more thing is the global actions up here. If you want to create something immediately by not going to opportunities, contacts, or leads, you can simply come over to global actions and create something new. So new task, new event, log a call, new note, etc. You can create something like this for yourself pretty easily. Now, these are generally the main things about your Salesforce demo. Okay, and this is how you're going to be working with your Salesforce CRM. Now, we also are going to go over to the account settings where you can check different aspects and different things about your account. Now, over here, what you can do is you can actually mess with the different user details. Okay, so first of all, you have personal info for yourself over here. So in advanced user details, we have all these names. Okay, with the certain details that your account brings you with. You can change your password, you can view summary, etc. We can also set different assignments. Okay, you can set different permissions and set different types of, you could say, integratory assignments for your workspace. All right. Then we have authentication settings for your external systems. Now, these are really helpful as well because any external system or any, you could say, integration that you add to your workspace, you can assign different things to different people in that case. Now, moving on, we have connections. Now, connections, again, is using third-party apps. So you're going to need to have approved access tokens, and the third-party account links are also going to be accessed through different tokens. Now, we also have external credentials. Now, external credentials is basically, any other credentials that you get from other external companies or any other external, LLCs. They're going to appear over here and you can basically set different things about them, like their, work related stuff or, what they're doing with your company, etc. Then we have grant account login access. Okay, so there can be different accounts that you can grant login access to. So let's say if you want to add some account for access, you can simply go over to this and give someone some access to log in easily through your account, which basically means that it won't have to again and again go ahead and send you an email letting you know that, hey, someone's trying to log into your account, etc. And you can also change your language and time zone, pretty standard stuff. And this is personal info. Okay, personal info, again, you can change all the things that you added previously straight over here. Now, moving on, we have display and layout. Now, this is where you can actually display how you want your page to work and how you want to set your page, okay? So if we come to customize my page, you first of all have a specific page. So let's say I'm going to go to the accounts page. I'm going to click on customize page. And once we click on customize page, here we have different lists to customize into. So let's say I'm going to go with campaigns. And what this does is it goes ahead and add campaigns into the actual axis. You have record page settings as well, where you can go ahead and keep your view at either activity timeline or related lists, okay? Where basically if you select activity timeline for a timeline view, you can manage your current and past activities. Related list is more to show the open activities and activity history related to your lists, okay? Now, moving on, we have email, okay? So in email, first of all, you have email settings. So you can change different settings about your email. So send through different Salesforce repertoires. You have email addresses. You can also keep a digital email signature. So any campaign or any email that you send for that fact will have a digital signature right under it, which is again pretty incredible for, Salesforce to give that to us. Okay. Now moving on, what you can also work with is emailing to Salesforce, where you can keep different settings with emails to Salesforce, where you can assign different leads and contacts and opportunities. You can set different records for yourself. And this is the email that you use to email to Salesforce, basically. All right. Now, moving on, we have Chatter, which is basically email notifications and different chatter that goes on in your feed. So you can turn off notifications, turn them on, etc. You can choose the frequency of the personal digest of your notifications. You can also choose the groups that you're supposed to receive notifications from, etc. Then there's different feeds to work with. You have different calendars and reminders. You have different activity reminders, etc. So just like this, it keeps going on and on. You can add desktop add-ons. And finally, you have import, where you can import different types of data from other CRMs to your CRM. So generally pretty easy and pretty, you could say soft stuff to get through to your main, you could say forecast of work. All right. Now, once we have gone through all of that, let's go back over to campaigns, okay? Because campaigns is also a very important part of when it comes to a software like Salesforce, because campaigns is something that will start your lead generation, okay? So, once we have talked about dashboards and everything, moving on from that, we have campaigns, okay? Campaigns are really simple and really fun to use. So we have this campaign over here, right? And we've created this new campaign. And again, if you want to create a new campaign, what I've told you is just go over to leads, Once you go over to leads, you're going to click on add to campaign. And once you click on add to campaign, click over here and click on new campaign. And what this will do is it will create an active or non-active campaign. That obviously depends on you. You can choose different types of those campaigns. You can choose the different marketing strategy that you want to go with when it comes to working with that campaign, and a whole lot more. So you can also go ahead and create a campaign within a campaign, by the way, which is basically a parent campaign. Okay. Remember when I set the parent campaign to nothing? That is basically creating a campaign within a campaign. Okay. So whenever there's a parent campaign, that basically goes ahead and makes campaigning a lot more easier, in my opinion. Okay. You can set budgeted costs for yourself, and you can also set different things, different members, and a whole lot more. So these are things that can select the number of work ethics that you have in your workspace, and it can also go ahead and give you a proper reported analytical insight of your workspace. Okay, so once we have talked about that, you can also set a referral program. You can go ahead and see the details of this campaign right in this section. So we, as you can see, named this campaign test. We said that the status is planned, etc. You can also go ahead and work with the stages by adding leads into this campaign. So let's say I'm going to click on add leads, and already we have a lot of leads. So I'm going to click on plus. We're going to click on next, and that will basically add this lead into the campaign. And from one member, it's going to switch to two members. All right. So just like this, you can go ahead to opportunities. Okay. And if there's any opportunities in this campaign, you can simply go ahead and add them to the opportunities section. Okay. Now, it's not really necessary to the purpose of the campaign, but this allows you to get a gauge on the campaign. So hopefully that has been of value to you. Okay. So once we have talked about that, again, if we head back to a campaign of ours, I'm going to go over a few things and just general admin things, okay, which is basically maintenance of your Salesforce system. Now, this applies to every single object inside of your Salesforce system. So we have to search this list. So that allows us to search for a record on this list, okay? Now, even in the campaign section where you have active or inactive campaigns, you can simply go ahead and boost through those sections. So if we write campaigns, which is these items over here, we have campaigns over here, right? Now, over here, you have recently viewed campaigns, you have all active campaigns, etc. And in this list up here, what you can do is you can change your views for these campaigns to, select fields to display, deleted campaigns, sharing setting campaigns, etc. So again, generally really easy stuff to have in your workspace. You can also display your campaigns as different views. So if I wanted to display it as a Kanban table, I can do that as well. So it's going to appear like this, which is also a really fun view to have, but I'd rather have my campaigns like this. Okay. Now here we have our campaigns with different start, end dates, types, status, owner first name, owner last name. And we have different charts and filters to have for yourself. You can also refresh different campaigns to get, and generally, pretty simple stuff. So we've got chart options where we can create our own charts. So, by industry, you can see what you have got on your campaigns. And those different chart options can be used in accounts as well. So let's say if I come to accounts, I can come over here. We can see the split view. We can see the chart view, and, different types of views that our campaign section brings us. Okay. So generally, these are really easy things to have in your admin, and your admin basically controls most of your work capabilities in your CRM. So these are just some things that you're going to want to have in your workspace when you're using it. So hopefully you are familiar with what I have covered in this video. Just as a recap, I'm going to go through everything all over again. So we have got home, which is basically a section where you can see an analytical insight. Okay, this is an analytical look at how everything works. Then you can convert your home section to leads. Leads are obviously your contacts that you have, actually talked to as clients. So there could be companies, there could be, proper LLCs, enterprises, associations, and whatnot. Okay. Now you can actually convert those leads into accounts, and from those accounts, you can convert them to contacts. Okay. and opportunities, which are sales. And then we have, different cases where you can get customer support, case management, case resolution. You have different tasks. We have calendar, we've got reporting function where we can generate reports on data inside of our Salesforce system. We have got dashboards where we can visualize that data inside of our Salesforce system. And then we have got the campaigns as well. Okay, now you may not see some of this information at first. It may be slightly set up differently. So if you go to the very end up here to the pencil section and click on this, it basically opens this section up where you can actually add more items into your quota. So let's say I'm going to come over to all over here. And in this, you can see we can add campaigns, we can add cases. You can also go ahead and add contracts, files, groups, images, labels, and a whole lot more. So I'm going to add campaigns, tasks, and cases. So once we add this, we're going to click on save. And once you click on save, now you actually have a proper campaign board up here, including tasks and cases. And again, tasks and cases are also something traditionally used a lot when it comes to applications like these. Okay, and I'm going to get into this in a section as well. But yeah, generally this is how you're going to add different categories of different work sections in your CRM. You're usually quite simple, or there's stuff you wouldn't necessarily use. So hopefully I've covered everything and you're far more familiar with the Salesforce system. Now, there are a few additional things I want to discuss. We have got the main favorite section up here where you can add any board to favorite. So let's say I've added the tasks item in my favorite, and if I go over to my favorites just like this, you can see I can add them or remove them in any way that I want. So any favorite you have, you can change through this section. And I would definitely urge you to use this section because typically it gives you a lot of good things to work with when you're in this. Okay, now once we have gone through that, let's go ahead and talk about cases. Okay, so cases is an area where basically you can essentially get the case management or case resolution area of your Salesforce system. So anytime your client has a question or a problem with your product, you would create a case and then you would see it through the different stages to resolve the case as quickly and efficiently and effectively as you possibly can. Now, if I just use, the drop-down menu where you can see all your open cases or all your general cases, okay? You can see them over here and you can see a sample of all different cases. Now, currently, I don't have any cases in my platform, but you can actually go ahead and create a new case. So let's say I'm going to click on new. And once you click on new, it opens up a case where you can choose the contact you have a case with. You're going to choose the account name. You can choose the different statuses to, let's say, on hold. You can choose the type, like, let's say it's a problem case. Okay, go with that. Then you have case origin. So I'm going to go with email, and you can go with the reasoning, subjects, etc., and then click on save. And what this will do is it will add a case into your platform, and from here on out you can go ahead and solve this case. So you can solve this case by logging a call, giving new tasks, new events, creating a post, etc. And once this case is done, you can go ahead and simply delete this case because you're going to be done with it. Okay, so this is generally what case is. And generally this is how you are going to be using it, contemplated with your workspace. Okay, so generally pretty easy and pretty simple stuff to get your head around. And typically you get different features in CRM platforms, but I haven't seen these much features in different platforms because usually they're quite saturated and they don't give you the full repertoire of features that you're gonna be needing. Okay, so basically this is the main idea of cases, and in cases, this is how you're gonna be using it accordingly to your CRM. You can also create different, posts, log different emails, manage calls to post the chatter area, and, fix different posts and status changes for yourself. Now, moving on, you can also keep the information at different lengths for yourself. with different knowledge areas where you can briefly touch on the knowledge area and, get into a lot of detail when it comes to your CRM. Now, when it comes to getting into detail, I would definitely suggest you to do that by coming to post or new task. Now, the reason for that is because by getting into detail, what you can do is you can actually get to the depths of the issue that you've created a case on. Because whenever you create a case, basically the issue is either really strong or it's either really, urgent, etc. Okay? So, yeah, definitely go ahead and use the cases section for yourself just to get a good general idea. You can keep a new case, open case, pending case, or maybe it's an escalated case, closed case, etc. You can simply change the status by coming over to edit. Okay. You can also follow up with this case by following up with the stream opportunities. And by adding in stream opportunities, you can mark these statuses as complete. And obviously, you can also see the records of these cases to get a main idea of. Okay. So, yeah, generally pretty easy stuff. You can change the owner, assign different labels for yourself, and see the different cases that you have, closed open, closed won, closed lost, etc. Now, if there's a case that's unsolvable, obviously you're going to keep it on closed lost because, you closed the case without actually genuinely fixing it. So just like that, we manage our cases and we manage it around differently in different ways and different methods. Okay. So generally really fun stuff. Now, I'm also going to move over to tasks, but before going to tasks one time, I'm going to go ahead and discuss the pricing in a lot of depth because in the start of the video, I did tell you about the pricing, but we didn't get to discuss it in great detail. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to scroll down to the pricing section over here. So obviously start small and scale up, which basically means you can start totally for free, use the CRM for 30 days, see if it's for you. And if it's for you, you can start off with the starter plan. Now the starter plan, obviously $25 per month, where you can start fast with sales, service, and email outreach tools. Then we have professional, where we can complete CRM for any size team, which is $80. And we have enterprise, where we can deeply customize different sales CRM for businesses. And then we have unlimited, where the sales or the ultimate platform to grow is available and it's given over to us. Now, you can also detail your pricings. You can view a whole detail of everything with the 4 different plans. So we have different suites over here. Now, in these suites, you get account contact, lead, and opportunity management. You get that in all of the things. Now, advanced forecast and pipeline management is given in Enterprise Unlimited and Einstein. Then we have sales engagement and conversation challenges. We have Premier Success Plan. You also get a generative AI. You can only get these in Enterprise Unlimited and in Einstein, but trust me, the generative AI, I did get to use it once, and trust me, it does not disappoint because Salesforce actually goes ahead and uses AI to work into your CRM. It actually integrates the AI so well that all of the features that go into your work are used through artificial intelligence. Then you also have unified data, you have sales planning programs, collaboration, and much more detailed analytics. Like, let's say, built-in AI, you get Einstein activity capture, Einstein relationship insights, buyer assistant, email insights, lead scoring, and so it keeps going on. So you can check a whole detailed repertoire of your pricing from this section over here, where you can, check it for different things like finding and progressing leads, managing customer and sales detail. Every CRM has different niches to work in. So you could maybe in, forecasting and analyzing your business, and you can check the best plan for that. You could be in managing your pipeline and check the best plan for that, etc. So just like this, please do make sure to check this out because this will help you out a lot. So before making any purchase with your Salesforce, check out the detailed pricing at salesforce.com/ap/sales/pricing. All right. So you get a good insight of your main system. Now you can actually check the other products that Salesforce also gives you, and to, get into the CRM, what you can do is we have products over here, right? So to get into your CRM, what you can simply do is you can move over to customer success, okay? Or you can just go over to small business. And this is where you can get into main CRM. Now, if you also want the AI capabilities, you can go over to the Einstein One platform, which is basically a plan that they give you for Salesforce CRM that is totally related to AI, where you get your number one AI CRM, where Einstein, the AI, will go ahead and tell you how your framework is supposed to actually work according to the leads you're getting, according to the actual generations you have on your campaign, etc. Okay, now once we come back here, we are going to move over to tasks. Now, what exactly are tasks? Okay, so tasks are very, very obvious. We can create tasks inside of our Salesforce system to do things, and we've got different views again for those tasks. And if you change that accordingly, we can create new tasks for ourselves. So let's say I'm here in tasks. I'm going to go to recently viewed. And from recently viewed, I'm going to switch over to, all the tasks that we have. So I'm going to go to open tasks. And what this will do is it will give me a list of all the open tasks that my space is going to have. Okay. And in these open tasks, you can actually go ahead and work well. Okay. You can integrate all of your work settings in this section and, generally have a good ethic when it comes to working along with the workspace. Okay. And you can also, as these tasks are done, you can simply mark them as complete and they're going to be ticked off of your list. But they're not going to be totally removed. You can simply go ahead and check them out on recently completed tasks. Okay. Obviously, I think it takes you like 2 or 3 days until the completed task is totally archived. So you do have 2 to 3 days to, complete and check the task once again by going back into it. Okay. So just like this, select all the tasks that you want to work with, and as you've selected them, you can simply go ahead and get a simple and yet pretty helpful idea on how you are going to go ahead and complete and assign those tasks for yourself. Okay, so once we have talked about that, generally it's a pretty fun thing to have for yourself, and it gives you a pretty huge repertoire to get a main idea about in this section. Okay, so once we have talked about all of this, that is pretty much all the features that there are to discuss when it comes to Salesforce's very own CRM platform. So if you enjoyed this video, please do make sure to drop down a like and subscribe to the channel, and do let me know down in the comments below if there's anything you did not understand about this video, because if you did not, and you let me know in the comments below, I will be sure to help you with it. Okay, I'll be sure to go across all the details that are required in this section. So, basically pretty standard and pretty straightforward stuff to have a good idea about. Okay. So generally, that's the main idea of Salesforce and how you're going to use its customer relationship management platform. I've told you the pricings, I've told you all the features. If there's any issue, let me know. And that is pretty much all there is when it comes to Salesforce. So thank you all for watching all the way till the end, and I'll be seeing all of you wonderful people in the very next video. Have a great day. Goodbye.